This is self-healing with guided imagery with, what's his name? Dr. Andrew Weil and Dr. Martin Rossman. Now, Marty Rossman and David Bressler were the two men who who created the Academy for Guided Imagery. Dr. Rossman is a medical doctor and an acupuncturist. David Bressler, whose picture is not there, David Bressler is an acupuncturist and started the pain clinic in UCLA. And he thought that he and Marty would be able to bring this idea to UCLA and would do it through them. And they kept dragging their feet, and he said, Marty, we've got to do it on our own. So it began in 1989, and that's when I began with them. And I went around the clock of the year, around the calendar, and they had 4 different workshops, and I attended them, and in between I used it with all my clients, and it was amazing how quickly they would get to understand things. I'll just throw something out to you very quickly, because the TV scares us to death. If you don't do this, that's going to happen, but if you do this, you'll have suicidal ideation, you'll have all kinds of difficulties with so many things. So the idea of not having the medication might be the way to go. A woman called me. She had fibromyalgia. She even had, sometime during her life, an operation. And the pain subsided for a while because of the operation. But then, of course, the pain reasserted itself somewhere else. Because fibromyalgia is just a nickname for I don't know what's causing it. There's nothing physiologically showing up. And it's a movable pain. If it's moving and the doctors find nothing, then it has to have an emotional basis. 5 sessions, and she had no more problem. I couldn't believe it myself, because she's the first one I'd worked with. Her hands weren't working. And when in doing the work, we found out that when she was very young, she was the youngest of 3 daughters, her father died, and they didn't want her to go to the cemetery. They figured she's too young. And so here she's loaded with fear of her father dying, pain of her father dying, anger that they're not taking her with them. So she's got all these feelings inside, and she's imagining that when the mother and the sisters come back, they'll come in and they'll be talking about it. The mother was too upset and told the older girls she wanted nothing to be said about the father from that point on. So all of these things were stuffed down. And one by one, we talked to the hands. The hands promised not to hurt anymore if she would do X, and she promised to do X, whatever that was. The next time we talked, she spoke to her mother. Imaginary, mother sitting there, tell her what you couldn't tell her originally, and go through that. And without continuing on this process too long, this is how we worked it through. And so when I see this thing called Lyrica, and has the nerve to have a gorgeous name like Lyrica, I mean, I'm a singer, and I don't want that word to be misused. That's the one that can cause suicidal ideation and swelling of the throat so that you can't talk, and heart failure, and all these other wonderful things because of fibromyalgia. So I want to jump through the television and say, no, 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 you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. There are ways, there are people who can help you without any medication. You can get rid of it. All right.